This is an Intel NUC, a mini personal computer. And this is the M4 Mac Mini, a tiny personal computer, except this one has a ton of accessories attached to it. This is what's known as a Cyberdeck, a custom-built computer platform usually designed around a specific purpose, aesthetic, or workflow. Projects like the dual-screen Cyberdeck or this modular Cyberdeck are awesome. So I wanted to build one in my own flavor. Usually people build these because a normal laptop just doesn't fit their own needs anymore. But for me, it's for the look, the modularity, and the ability to repair and evolve the ecosystem over time. So this is where I started my journey for the Cyberdeck. But while most of the Cyberdecks online I've seen are incredibly creative, they all seem to share one major issue: power. A lot of these smaller builds look amazing, but the hardware underneath just isn't enough for what I want to do. I need something that is capable of CAD work, video editing, and gaming. A real workstation I can take anywhere. So a Raspberry Pi for me just ain't gonna cut it. So let's start with the design requirements, meaning the power, compute, and networking all need to exist inside the device itself. And I also want every component to stay contained within the chassis. Just a single power cable and Ethernet connection coming out of it. And honestly, I really don't care about the size, I don't care about the weight, I really care about how it functions. And I also need enough screen real estate for editing timelines and, Forza of course. So this was the first design that I came up with. So we started off with the two caddies for each of the PCs. I was going to face the Mac Mini down so that the airflow can go through the top here. The Intel one is pretty similar, and all we needed to do was actually just add some rails to these. I'm going to try and add bolts to the side here so that these stay in and use thumb screws so I could swap them in and out. But going over the design some more, I noticed that we're going to need some fans in this thing because if we have a bunch of PCs and other equipment in here, I want to make sure that there's some sort of airflow through this thing because majority of this top is just going to be flat and not really be able to pull any air through. So I made this section right at the bottom here so that intake comes right in, and that's where the keyboard's going to sit as well. And also I have a dial pad over here that I'm going to slot in. So this right here is going to be my controller for all of my airflow. My other thought too was to add a charger to this. There's a cool one with a dot matrix display I wanted to use, so placing that in here and running it over to the power supply that we're going to be using was where I kind of start. Also, after adding the top, I thought it would be cool to add like a little phone holder right here on the top, just so you can lay down your phone and if you want to watch anything or just wait for notifications to come in while you're doing your computer stuff, you could toss your devices and extra stuff from your pockets right up here. And that's the entire idea. I want to be able to pick up one thing and go. And after a slew of 3D printing, this is where we're starting out at. All the power is in, the keyboard's in, the speakers work, I've added networking, controller support, and made some decisions on my hardware. We've decided to use the JBL Go 4 in a stereo pair for sound. I was originally going to build some speakers for this, but these are so small and I can move them around or not even bring them if I don't want to, and it doesn't make the machine any bigger than it already is. We're keeping the keyboard the Wooting 60HE because it's awesome and has mechanical switches, so if you really want to game on this and be competitive, you can, even though I'm not good. And for networking, we have the Barrel 7 router. This lets you plug an Ethernet cable into the little jack I found on Amazon, which is an external port with a cover. So if you roll up to a hotel or somewhere that has an active Ethernet jack, you can plug into there and have your own Wi-Fi in addition to already having a LAN. And the big part about this, the monitor. The monitor we decided on was the UPerfect 19-inch 4K Ultra HD 144Hz monitor. UPerfect was kind enough to send it over, and I'm using it in this build. It's got great color accuracy and that really nice refresh rate, but I do wish it was a little bit brighter. The other nice thing is you can also plug any other USB-C compatible device into this. So if you have another gaming handheld, or you just want to bring a console with an HDMI cable, this can just act as your mobile entertainment center. Now that handles our audio and visuals, but what about our charging? Because we want everything to be in one unit and just with 2 cables. Cyberdeck sent over a few products of theirs that I chose for this project. They have these nice USB-C cables that are able to tell you the charging. This pairs really well with your 10 gig network card. Not one for this build, but for your server at home, so you can stream to this build and edit like you're at your house. With plenty of backend setup, that is. They also have a 252 watt 8-port charger, and this thing charges everything. I've put a bunch of different weird handhelds onto this thing, and it always seems to figure out exactly what weird voltage they need. Past all the networking and accessories, I was able to add a light to the back, and changed everything out so that we actually have a handle that rotates while you walk. The first iteration of handle was really hard to get off, and the new version is just way more comfortable. So after all of this 3D printing, we were able to stitch everything together with a 3D printing pen. Now this is the one I have from Sango, and all I really did was weld all of the plastic together. Make sure to do this with a respirator. I then sanded, added paint, didn't like how it came out, added more paint, still didn't like how it came out, and I realized you could add drywall putty to this. So I goobered this whole thing up, and then was finally able to get a nice flat surface. Once I did that a few more times and a few more sands later, I got my final touches with the paint. Now it was a little bit unfortunate that every round of this didn't really get it to exactly where I wanted it to. I didn't design this in a way that the parts locked together that I wouldn't see a seam. If I had to do this again, I would definitely use some different materials, but where we're at is it's usable, and I don't really mind how it looks. It kind of feels like to me it's like the surface of the moon, which is why I've labeled this the Moon Mac, and I think it's ready for deployment, but I don't actually think it's that good. Now when I say this isn't that good, I mean the fit and finish. The overall product I actually really like. This thing is super cool. I think it's cool. It is not going to be for everybody else. This thing is way too big, it's way too heavy, but it's got everything I want to bring with me on any sort of trip, not on the plane. I would not bring this to an airport, but anywhere locally in the region, going to like the beach or something, like an hour car ride away, but I still want to be able to get some work done in the morning, this is exactly what I'm bringing. So other than that, there are a few features that I really like this little hole that slides out like this, so we can actually stuff a mouse in here. Same thing with these lids right here. These lids are going to be able to be removed and accessed from outside the device. The idea is to put thumb screws in each one of these posts and then be able to have a little bit of storage along with any other networking or other accessories we want to put in this thing. So overall, I think my favorite features by far are these two little areas right here where I can swap out charging or extra speakers or awesome controllers if I want to do any extra stuff. It depends on what type of trip I'm having, which just uncomplicates a lot of my bringing things other places. If I want the Mac Mini to swap out too, I can swap that with my Intel NUC. No problem. So let's talk about some things I did not do well. We already talked about the finish, but I also did a few things with the power management, which I wanted to have a power strip built into this thing, and when I got to searching, I actually found a 10-inch 1U rack mountable power supply that had plugs on either side of the device. Now I'm kind of doing this in a weird way where I didn't really want a big power brick or anything like that somewhere else. I wanted everything to be built in, and this is kind of what I came up with. So what I ended up doing was cutting the cable to the actual power strip, making it much smaller, and then splicing the male end just a few inches from where it goes into the power strip. That means anywhere I go, if you pick up a 3-prong extension cable, you can have any size power cable you want with this. Which turned out really well, but it made this thing very bulky. But bulk aside, I've got a Cyberdeck that I really like. And even though it has flaws with the power system being way too large, the fans are a little bit too loud, and the finish isn't where I want it, there's a lot that I do like, and if you like it, the parts are down below, along with the plans. And I'm not really sure if this is considered a Cyberdeck, but that's what I'm calling it. And when we put all of this together, the screen looks awesome. The Bluetooth audio is way better than I expected, and having your own network wherever you go is just really a treat. You don't have to deal with any setup, And now I just have my own little thing wherever I want to bring it. Now I get this really is just a giant laptop, but I couldn't buy exactly this anywhere else. And seeing everybody else's creations made me want to have a go at making my own.